Woo, woo, woo. Hey, how you doing, Remedy?
I'm pretty good. How are you?
I'm doing pretty good. I was hoping you were around earlier this morning. But
Yeah, it was a late night last night.
yeah. Surprise, I'm running for a fourth term.
Oh, I saw.
Yeah. Oh, you saw the update. All right.
Yeah,
Well,
no, I definitely I saw your twat.
yeah. Thought it was important for me to let you know the why.
Okay.
As I know there was kind of a plans in place and then plans changed. But long and short of it is, I realized that, well, I didn't realize, after the meeting on Saturday with the justices, I realized without us pushing some very serious changes, we're all pretty much doomed. So, and then earlier this morning, I made that final decision. So, I hope this doesn't, what's the word I'm looking for? Annoy you, I guess.
Oh, I'm not annoyed. Why would I be annoyed?
Well, we had plans, and then plans, went the way it did. So,
Right. I mean, I've known you for about a year,
Yeah.
and I feel like I've worked with you for about a year, and I feel like you don't do things without intention. So, I mean, I'm not going to take this personally because I don't really feel like you feel like it's a me thing. I think it's that you feel like it's something that you need to do.
Yes.
You know?
I appreciate that. Thank you. And I say thank you mostly because a lot of times in San Andreas, people only see the surface level. You know what I mean? So,
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, I have a decision.
Yeah.
Because I can still run.
Yes.
I'm dealing with some court shit right now. But,
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Okay. That. See, I was under the impression you couldn't even run to begin with.
No, so basically, I had a warrant, and the warrant was DNA. But DNA isn't enough for a warrant ever. So they basically added some additional things, which amounts to hair color and similar outfit, which is being like Robin is fighting against that. And should my warrant be found like what's the word? Should my warrant be removed because because it's unjustified, then all of the charges they had against me for pursuit of my warrant are fruit of the poisonous tree. So if a justice or a judge will say that my warrant was unjustified, then we can say that I never would have fled, and therefore none of the charges against me should count.
Wait, what do you mean fled?
Well, they basically tried to arrest me, and I didn't pull over because they refused to tell me what they had.
That's not how it works.
Basically. So,
Interesting.
Yeah, no, I have a good case. I'm probably going to get these removed. I can still, but as it stands right now, because I am appealing and my case is up on the docket, none of the charges they charged me with are technically on my record. They appear on my record, but they can't use them against me. So I am more than welcome to run. And should I get elected, then they can decide whether or not to impeach me. So there's a small part of me that wants to run because on the off chance that, let's say, for whatever reason I win, which I won't if you're running, but let's say that I do.
Yeah.
If I get impeached, then I can just, hand the reins over to you.
No, that's not an option anymore, unfortunately.
Really?
Yeah. So, welcome to. So this was a part of the problem that happened Saturday. The Mumbles tried to pass the mayorship to Princess, and the judges said that's unconstitutional. So The only reason that Andy was allowed to do it was because it was 2 weeks. So the current sitting justices do not believe you can hand over reins, that it requires a new election. So, yeah.
No, I'm not sure I agree with that, but
Yeah,
what's the
I
point
don't
in having
either.
a deputy mayor then?
That's a really good question, to be honest. Yeah. So,
So I'm just gonna have to decide if I still want to run. Part of me just wants to do it just to see if I can, but like I also said I wasn't gonna run against you, so I'm not sure what I'm gonna do yet.
Think on it. Obviously,
Mhm.
I would love to have you a part of the campaign team and more.
Mhm.
And here's what my offer to you would be, Remedy.
Okay.
I think with all this like legal shit being an uncertainty, I don't know if it's going to be a big uncertainty, right? It's going to have a
Right.
target on your back, etc., etc. I think that it would behoove you to not just join our campaign team, but the actual cabinet. Join us in these big meetings. Help me.
Okay.
Let me put you in the front seat so you know what you're up against. And
Fair.
yeah, this is actually something I also offered Grayson. So he stepped down and he's, but we have plans for him. But it was a similar offer, which is, instead of seeing what it is from the sidelines, let's get you right dab in the center. So,
Okay. So
yeah.
my question then is, if I don't run for mayor, chances are I'm just going to keep doing what I always do, Nino, because that's
Correct.
what I enjoy doing in the city.
Yeah.
Can you, instead of hiring me as a member of your cabinet, hire me as an independent contractor so it doesn't matter what's on my record?
I am thinking there should be a felon advisor, and that advisor might disallow you from certain things.
Of course, obviously.
But you would be able to go to these meetings to provide a different perspective. And, yeah.
Well, let me think on it, because
Okay.
this is something that I had wanted to do.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And I can still drop out the rest of today. So.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely think about it. Like I said, I think the biggest thing would be getting you in these meetings and seeing what's going on. And what that does is not only set you up for success, but as a much better successor. You know what I mean?
Yeah, there's one thing I would like you to put in to the mayor, to the city should you win.
Mm-hmm.
A term
Ice cream?
limit. No, a term limit.
I'm Canadian.
So am I.
Yeah, why do you like term limits?
Because I feel like they're necessary. Because
I
I feel like if we're going to push for oversight, which is one of the main things that we've been pushing for the last year, we also need to push for oversight on ourselves. And I think a term limit is appropriate.
It's definitely something I'm going to take into consideration. I don't want to lie to you.
Okay. No, I don't want you to. I respect that you don't, and that's fair.
Good. Here's my thing on term limits, right? I think that if the people want somebody, term limit conversation originally came up to put people in a 2-month window, or 2-term limit. The issue with that is it sort of takes things away from the individuals, from people's right to vote, if that makes sense.
Sure.
Yeah. So that's why I've been kind of against it. I don't even think we should have term limits in the United States, if you want me to be honest.
That's fair.
Yeah, it's
I mean, that's fair. It's just it's something to consider, because if you think about it, and we preach oversight and we preach the things that we want changed for this specific reason, you're going to get the pushback. Well, it's like, okay, well, you've been mayor for a year at this point.
True.
Where is the oversight on that? It's just something to think about. That's all.
My counter to that, if people bring it up, is it's the people's vote. You know what I mean?
True.
And
it is the people's vote.
Yeah.
But you have to understand that there are people that will not run that could be good for the city because you're running and they don't think that they're going to win.
That I do agree with, to be honest.
You know,
Maybe
like,
there's a middle ground here. So
Yeah.
let me cook on that.
Yeah. I would never impose a strict term limit, like 2 terms, you're done forever. But I would more or less consider like a
Wait, how about that?
in a row.
I think maybe I'll wait.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, like,
So
let's say you have 2 terms consecutive, and
yeah.
then unlimited terms, otherwise.
Okay, that I can fuck with. Okay.
Mhm.
All right. All right.
Yeah, because then it literally allows people to have like 6 months, which is half a year, which is, a decent amount of time in the world that we live in. And then, somebody else has an option. You can even put a clause in there that there can be a people's non-confidence vote, where if they don't
Yes.
believe in the current candidates, they can elect to allow the current mayor to extend their term.
I think you're now speaking my language. I think something along these lines makes a lot more sense.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. All right. Well,
Because, like, you've been good for the city, but like, put somebody who hasn't been in your position. Like put somebody who wouldn't have been good for the city, that was popular enough to be elected 4 terms in a row,
true.
that didn't elicit the change that you elicited, and then we were stuck with them for a year because there's no reason for them to leave, because yes, it's the people's vote, but again, sometimes people don't run because they see you running. Like, I probably will pull out of the race at this point because I don't know if I can beat you. I mean, I think I have a decent shot, but I don't know for sure, and I don't want to damage our relationship, and I don't want to,
Yeah,
like,
that what you're saying makes a lot of sense. And I will say this has definitely been something on my mind, right? The biggest thing that has been gnawing on me is the exact same conversation you're bringing up. That's been my reason to be like, how could I do this if I do not keep myself accountable? If we cannot show, I'm going to shoot straight. The thing that I said to Michael and Grayson was, if we cannot show ourselves that there can be a change, then what makes us think the justices should have to change?
right. And that is something that, people are going to consider as well.
Yeah.
So I guess
Very
it
true.
just kind of comes down to where you want to be with it. I'm not saying don't run. I think you should run, especially given that I may not be able to. But I just think that it's something to consider. Plus, if more people will be willing to accept change if there is change. People have to get used to change being a thing.
True. I agree
But
with
yes,
that.
also I'd like ice cream in the city, please.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that's true. I think yeah. I'm definitely going to put that forward. I think
Okay.
that makes a lot of sense. All right.
And yeah, I will. I'll decide whether or not I'm going to run against you. Unlikely, but you
Well,
never know.
Yeah. I think right now it's you, me, Party Hardy,
Barney,
and then
Jamarcus,
Demarcus, and I think Marty's running as of
and
10
Marty.
minutes ago.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was 10 minutes ago.
So about to have a chat with him as well, see what's on his mind. All right.
Well, he's been saying he's running for mayor for months, like for about a month now.
Oh, really?
Yeah, a couple weeks at least. Like, I was like,
Interesting.
so when you weren't running,
does he
and I
understand what
was,
it takes?
no.
Well.
And I mean, just between you and me,
Yeah.
like, at least I can say that I wake up every day.
Yeah, that is true.
So it's kind of like,
We want another justice.
Eugene, when Eugene was running for mayor, that was like of the North. That was the main thing people were saying. It's like, you don't wake up, so why would we vote for you? And he still almost won.
That is true. Very true.
But yeah, I'll think about it. Chances are I probably won't run, but we'll see.
Well, if you don't, will you join my cabinet?
Yeah, of course.
Good shit. All right.
I mean, even like, that I've always got your back, regardless of the situation.
Hey, I do know that. Hey. All right. Thank you so much, Remedy.
Of course. I appreciate you.
You take care.
Bye.
Bye. She makes a really good point, to be honest. Problem is idealism versus practicality. Interesting. All right. Now let's job connect.